Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. We are on part 2 of my palette collection. I am still going through the A through H palettes, and yeah, I think I figured out my light problem, so we are going to try to make this a little longer of a video. So get yourself a snack, a drink, whatever you would like, and we are going to get right into it. Okay, I have 3 of these boxes filled up, so we are going to get through those and tackle them. And like I said, this is not a declutter. This is just me going through my palettes with you. If you are interested in seeing them, if I see a palette that I am kind of on the fence about, I will set it off to the side and put it in a use it or lose it and try it out, and then I'll see if I want to declutter it or not. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna make a playlist, and I will put it down below in the description box. Okay, the first one is the Juvia's Place, the coffee shop palette. I just got this one. Nice warm brown neutrals. Really enjoy this palette. I think I'm gonna take it on vacation with me. So definitely a good, and it was only like $25 or something like that, so a very nice palette. Another palette that I'm just loving on right now is the ColourPop Aurora Stroke palette, and it's a nice cool tone. I got some purples, cool tone purples, greens, and even some blues in there, and some grays. So really enjoying this palette as well right now. And then the Beauty Bakery Breakfast in Bed palette, a very nice, also cool toned, cool toned palette. Not the most pigmented palette out there, but definitely worth using. I really like that palette. Okay, one of my favorite palettes, and definitely one of my prized palettes. I got this on a sale. Like I said, this is a Pat McGrath palette. She is always having sales, so you don't have to ever buy anything full price. This is the Mothership 9. This is the Pat McGrath Mothership 9 Utopian Dream palette. Yeah, that's what it says. And it is just so beautiful. I definitely am taking this with me on vacation. And this is what the outer packaging looks like. The artwork on these is always spectacular. This is the only Pat McGrath palette that I have. I have a couple mini lipsticks, and I have a blush palette that I really like from her, but that's all I have as far as Pat McGrath stuff goes. Okay, something I've got from Ipsy, I think, is the Glam Babe from Trend Beauty. One of those palettes. Oh, again, that's going to be happening a lot. One of those palettes that you pull out every so often. It has a lot of shimmers in it. I will give it that. It has a lot of nice shimmers in it. I will probably put this in a use it or lose it, I think. Because I don't remember what happened when I used this palette. I don't remember the look I came up with when I used this palette. So yeah, I think I'm going to put that aside for a future use it or lose it. So that is that. Okay, another one of my favorite ColourPops is the C3PO palette. And I love browns and golds and yellows together. So this is definitely up there as one of my favorites from ColourPop. So yeah, I absolutely love this palette, as well as my other Star Wars palettes, which you will see. Oh, there's one right there. You will see in a minute. Okay, this is the BH Blueberry Muffin palette. Gloria from Beauty After 50 gifted me this palette, it is beautiful for blue looks. And yeah, it's got some grays in there, it's got some browns in there. When I use this palette, I just made the most beautiful look with it. BH has one of the best formulas out there. And yeah, I don't know if you can still get this palette, but you can probably get it on secondhand sites and such as that. Really enjoy that palette. Okay, another BH palette. I think I've only used this one once. Is the Hanging with Hawaii. It is a little more neutral, a little more warm neutrals. Has some pinks and browns. Yeah, a little more neutral-ish pink, I would say. And some of these champagne colors in it. Very nice. One of my favorite all-time palettes is my Moira Celestial Love palette. I keep it in its original box. And yeah, it looks like this. And this is what it looks like. It definitely has some pinks, browns, and purples in it. Makes the most beautiful looks. I'm going to say that about a lot of palettes. But this one definitely stays in its original box, and I bring it out quite often to make looks with it. Another one of my Star Wars palettes that I just got was the Darth Vader palette. Looks like this. Makes some nice dark sultry looks with it. And I like to pair that with the classic Star Wars palette, which you will see later on in this series. Okay, from Nomad, this is the America's Parks. I love the artwork on this one, and it has a lot of nice light colors in it. It's great for spring and summertime looks, and yeah, I definitely need to bring this out more and use it, but it's great to work with for collabs and such, and it has great shimmers in it. All this row of shimmers here and a couple of shimmers here. It's definitely got a lot of shimmers in it. And up there, oh my gosh, definitely shimmer heavy palette, but a lot of fun to work with. This melt palette I got on sale for only $20. Yay! It is the Amor y Mariposas, the Love and Butterflies palette. And oh yeah, it has a mirror on it too. And this is what it looks like. So pigmented and so beautiful. And makes the most beautiful looks. What can I say? It has reds, it has purples, it has greens, it has golds in it. It has some neutral colors in it as well. Sometimes Melt has hit or miss when it comes to their formula, but this is their good formula. And I think this was a holiday palette a couple of years back. It's a solid palette. Okay, another palette that I love to bring out when I'm doing collabs and stuff, and this is a wonderful formula. It's the Blend Bunny Blends palette. It's all matte, but it is, you know what? I said the other day I don't have a rainbow palette, but this is my rainbow palette. I need to bring this out when I do my palette roulette look. We're doing a Pride look on Thursday. I need to bring this palette out. Why didn't I think of this palette when I was doing my look for the Sassy Divas collab? I totally wasn't thinking. Okay, I'm going to set this one aside. I just totally wasn't thinking. Okay, let me pull out another basket. I'll be right back. Okay, one of my special palettes here is from Unearthly Cosmetics. It is the All I Ever Wanted palette. It is full of shimmers, duochromes, and multi-chromes. I like to pull this palette out when I am just doing a simple look on the eyes, and then I want the lids to pop with a couple of special shades. So this one is one of my more prized palettes that I only bring out for special occasions. So yeah, I really like using this palette. Okay, the next palette I have is also from Blend Bunny. It is the Dollhouse palette. It is their version of a neutral palette, but it still has lots of color in it. It's just muted colors. So, and I like that you can go down vertically down these columns here and make just a monotone look if you want. You can mix it up, do whatever you want. Really like this palette to do some more muted colored looks. Next, I got this palette, also was a gift from Beauty After 50 Gloria. It is the Morphe 35U, the Gilded Desert palette. A lot of warm neutral browns and golds. Love pulling this out in the summertime and making looks for it, for everyday kind of looks. It is just a beautiful, I think all my palettes are beautiful. A beautiful palette that what am I trying to say? I wish I could take it on trips with me, but it's just too big to do that with. But if I just need an everyday look for going out, I like to bring this palette out. Okay, some Ace Beauté palettes. This is the Blossom Passion palette, and it is a nice pink and purple palette, making looks that I like with pink and purple. And yeah, you cannot go wrong with the Ace Beauté formula. That is for certain. Love that. And another one. This is one of the first Ace Beauté palettes I got. The very first one I got was the Vintage Dawn palette. I got that in a BoxyCharm. And then I think this was the second one I got. This is the old Ace Beauté formula, which is different from their new formula. I do like their new formula, but I don't have a big problem with their old formula either. But this is kind of a grungy rainbow palette. It only has, well, it has 4 shimmers in there. I was thinking it only had 2 or 3, but there are 4 shimmers in it. And I really used to love this palette. I used to use it a lot, but I haven't used it in a while. I'll have to pull it out for a start my stash, definitely. And yet another Ace Beauté palette. It is the Falling For You palette. I did get this in a BoxyCharm. This is a beautiful fall palette. I do enjoy using this palette. That is what she looks like right there. It has all those pumpkin spice type colors in it. I really enjoy using those colors are just awesome. Okay, something I got from Tarte, and I don't usually get a lot of things from Tarte. This is the Tarte Gilded palette. There were 2 in this set. I think there's the Gilded and the Glamour palette. The Glamour, I'm not sure where that's at right now. It might be down here in this box, or it might be somewhere else. I'm not really sure, but this is my favorite of the 2. The other one's a little more cool toned, I think, but this is more warm toned. Yeah, a little warmish, cool toned. Yeah, a little more warm toned, but I do like this palette a lot better. But they're both really nice. Okay, now I've got the ScoobyDoo Creeps and Crawls palette. Had some difficulty getting used to this palette, but decided ultimately to keep it. It's just a very dark palette. All the shades are very dark, but I was able to get a look out of it that I really enjoyed, so I decided to keep it. Those shimmers are to die for, though. I couldn't let this palette go because Glam Light, this is a Glam Light palette, and those Glam Light shimmers are just everything. Okay, I've had this palette for a while. It's another palette from Artist Couture that I bought, and it is the Ethereal Bloom palette. I was thinking about selling this palette secondhand on Mercari, but I was looking at it and I was thinking, man, I just can't get rid of this palette. I just love these colors so much. It's a nice spring palette, and I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this palette. I just haven't used it in a while, but I absolutely need to bring it out and use it. A good Valentine's palette is this from Gourmand Girls, the C'est l'Amour palette. And I know this has a saver in it. Just look at this. When I looked at it, I thought, I don't know if I can do anything with this palette, but once you start playing with it, and this, sorry about that, this multi-chrome right here, oh my gosh, it is, and this one right here as well, I'm talking, absolutely make the looks just sing, I swear. Okay, a couple of Nomad palettes. This is the Cartagena palette from Nomad. A very nice summery look. The only thing about it is it doesn't have real dark colors in it. This is probably the darkest color, and it doesn't get that dark. So anyway, I still love this palette just as much as all my other Nomad palettes, and it makes a real nice summery look. Another Nomad palette is the Fête de Provence palette, and it is another great spring palette. Love all the pinks and reds, all the oranges, pinkish oranges, all the yellows, all the purples, all the grayish blues over here, everything like that. And there is just one row of shimmers right there. So love that palette. Okay, something I got in BoxyCharm is the Wonder Beauty Wondrous Escape palette. Another one I just don't use that much, but I was able to come up with some really awesome looks with this one. It's one of those underrated palettes that you get when you look at it and you think, I don't know what I can do with this palette, but once you start working with it, yeah, then you know, yeah, that's a good palette. Okay, and then I had that Cali Set palette yesterday. Now this is the Beauty Creations Cali Chic palette. That one, the other one was more of a purpley one. This one is a more gold and copper one. And I really enjoy this palette a lot. I have the Lucky Penny one from ColourPop, which I'll show you either tomorrow or in a couple of weeks when I get back, but I think I like this one a little better. So definitely enjoy that one. Okay, that is box number 2. Let me go get the third box for today. Okay, another ColourPop palette, which I just adore, is the Apricot Me Not palette. This, again, doesn't go very dark, but it has some nice light colors in it. And it does have one shade that gets kind of dark, but not really. And yeah, this makes a nice everyday kind of look. So I really appreciate it for that. One palette that I'm still kind of on the fence about is this Kevin and Coco Constellations palette. Although it says it's called the 11 color eye color palette, I'm still calling it the Constellations palette. It looks like this. I still need to play with it some more. I'm not putting it up for use it or lose it just yet, but I just need to play with it some more and see what I think about it. Use some more of the colors, things like that. So yeah, and then I just dug my fingernail into it. Okay, good going, Jennifer. Okay, then I have my Menagerie Cosmetics Feral palette. I really enjoy using this to make really colorful Instagram type looks, using it for collabs, things like that. It's just not an everyday kind of palette, but I really like having it. It's the only thing I have from Menagerie Cosmetics, so I like having it around. It's just, I don't know, it works really well, and I just love having it around. Something I got from I think an Ice Cream Beauty bag. It could have been Slay Beauty, box or Ice Cream Beauty. It's the I Think I'm in Love. I think I got it around Valentine's Day. It's another cute palette. It may end up in a use it or lose it. We shall see in the future. But I think I was able to make a pretty cute look of it. From it. I like the packaging. I think it's cute. It's from Nomad Cosmetics. And this is what it looks like. Might pull it out around Valentine's Day, something like that. It's just cute to have around. Okay, I talked about this one last month. It is from Covergirl, the Clean Color. It is the Cool Berry palette from Covergirl. Makes a cute look. I still don't think it was worth the money. And these two shades are kind of the same, but I'm going to keep it around a while to make some everyday looks with it. I just bought it because I was at CVS and wanted to try it. Wanted to try some drugstore eyeshadows. This one, I wasn't that impressed with, but I'm not going to kick it out of my collection just yet. Okay, another Nomad palette. This is my favorite Nomad palette. And look at that lenticular cover artwork there. That is really cool. And this is the Haunted Europe palette. And I just love all of those colors in it. There's so many possibilities to make different looks. This is great for Instagram looks. This is great for making collab looks. This is great for making everyday looks as well because there's some neutrals in it. Very versatile palette. I just love this palette so much. Another Ace Beauty palette. This is makes more wearable looks. This is the Classical Paradise one. A very good fall palette to use. So I really like the color story in this one as well. Something I got from Slate Beauty Box. And this is by Rasha Cosmetics. This is the gold, not gold, the Gold Digger palette. And yeah, it is good. And I think with every palette, her formula gets better. And this is definitely her getting there palette. And I think the last one, the Just Ann palette, she was definitely there with her formula. This one, I think she's almost there with her shades and her mattes and everything like that. I wouldn't mind if I picked this from a palette roulette or if I pulled it for doing Shop My Stash or something like that. Otherwise, I don't think I would pull it just to use it for an everyday look because I always forget what it looks like. But yeah, I'm going to keep it in my collection for now though. Not going to put it up for use it or lose it or anything like that. Okay, just a few more to go. From Fantasy Cosmetica, I have my the Bard palette. And hopefully it will come out. Okay, it didn't want to come out at first. Okay, this is what it looks like. Not so much for everyday looks, but really makes some cool looks. I enjoy this palette. I think their multi-chromes are fantastic. And their matte shades work so well together. I want to buy some more of their palettes. They don't have a lot, but they do have a few more palettes that I would like to get. And my favorite one that I have right now is the Druid palette. And I don't have the color saver for this one. This one makes better everyday looks. And this one is just completely blows me away. This color right here, this color right here. Oh my gosh, all of them really blends so perfectly together. Oh, I need to pull this out for a Shop My Stash. Absolutely need to do that. I just really want to play with that again. Okay, here's the other palette from that Tarte collection. Okay, this one is a little cooler tone, but this is the Glamour palette. But these greens and blues here, they're not very pigmented at all. These colors up here do really well, but these colors here, they're not that great. But the other colors kind of make up for this palette. That's why I'm keeping it around. Okay, so those are all my palettes from A to H. Managed to do that in 2 videos. Okay. Finger falling over. Okay, so tomorrow I will start my I through Q palettes. There's not as many of them as there were A through H, but I still don't know if I'll be able to do it in 1 video. So we will see. Like I said, I will get through as many as I can tomorrow, and then I'm gonna pick this up again, not next week, but the week after that. So okay, let me know what you thought of all of these palettes. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and share this video with your friends, and yeah, all the things, anything to push this out to other viewers like yourself would really help. But just you watching this video to this point helps out as well. Thank you very much for watching. If you are new here, thank you for watching as well. Please consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I upload a new video. So I hope y'all are all having a wonderful, fantastic day out there today. If you are having an especially hard time, know that I am thinking about you and I am sending you out all of those good vibes. Just remember to stay strong, stay healthy, and stay safe out there. And I will see you in another video soon. Just stay well until then. Okay, goodbye.